What?
Welcome back. And previously, the group had left Tinlaw Village, gotten into a scuffle with a displacer beast with their blink dog Spaz along the way towards the altar of Bakab, where once coming to the altar, they find that it is in disarray and ruins, and there are statues of people who have been petrified by a Gorgon who had taken up residence. Defeating the Gorgon, they're now free to explore the altar of Bakab and begin the ritual to convene with the god himself. And it's all yours.
Inside.
I love rituals.
I don't.
I know you do.
We head inside
Okay.
on the command of Zoldan.
Like, boys, I was an atheist before I showed up. Before, like,
We'll
Hadrada
get learning.
before Hadrada stood back up again after he died, I literally was an atheist. I didn't
Well-
believe in any of this, and now I'm here. What the fuck happened?
And Zylvan and the other mages are currently already inside. They had brought in some of the supplies that they had in the cart inside, and you can see that some of them are like candles and different incenses and magical relics.
I
I'll
asked them if
curiously
they
follow.
need. I asked them if they need help with setting things up.
And they say, "Oh no, it's fine. We have it. It's a very specific ritual that we must do."
All right, I'll leave you be then because I don't know things about anything about magic.
And they say, "Thank you. It should take probably a good day or so to get everything ready."
Holy!
That is
All right,
pretty-
time to scope
Well
the
then.
temple.
Time to die. No, I'm just kidding.
Time to scope the temple, I guess.
Yeah, let's explore the temple.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, cool. So yeah, walking around the interior of the temple, you find that
I want
the
to
inside.
roll for traps, like perception check or whatever. I need to roll or investigation
Okay,
I don't wanna
yeah,
walk into-
go ahead.
or gelatinous cubes. Perception or investigation?
Investigation for traps.
And gelatinous cubes.
21. And gelatinous cubes.
21.
and
Okay.
Giant insects hang from the ceiling.
Okay. So yeah, looking around for traps, you don't find any. There's no tripwires. There's no pits dug out. There's no mechanisms for flame or poison anywhere that you can see.
And now gelatinous cube.
However, there's a massive gelatinous cube just sitting there, looking at you.
You're all in it, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
Gelatinous Cubezilla.
Yes.
Is there anywhere, like, in the temple we can, like, explore?
Yeah.
Well, people were really trustworthy with this temple. I gotta say, either that or I'm blind, but I think the people were just pretty trustworthy.
So
Yeah.
the area that you're in right now is like it's like an entryway sort of area, and there's a door leading on that goes into the main altar area.
Okay. I'll have a look in there.
I ask one of the temple priest dudes if there is a library.
And they say, well,
A
there was a
library?
one.
A library, yes. Continuing.
And they say, well, there was at one time, but I imagine with everything being destroyed around here that the books have gone to the elements.
Well, I guess I'll check it out anyways. I try and find the library.
A library.
Liverby. Fuck me.
What did you just do?
I kicked a bag that's under my desk.
Oh, okay.
Bag of bones?
Can I look for a library?
No bag of candles.
Bones.
I sadly don't have any bones in real life.
Any?
Inside of
Hello?
my body, but that's it, like not any
Hello?
dry bones inside of my body.
Might be.
Yeah, Hadrada, roll an investigation check.
Well, even though I accidentally put it to advantage, it didn't matter. 19.
19. Okay. So yeah, walking around, you kind of go through another hallway and down a corridor, and you see a destroyed double wooden door.
I kick open the door.
Okay.
It's destroyed.
Yeah, it doesn't
This is
take
a
much.
temple.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. You just blast right through it and walk in, and it looks to be what is the remnants of a library, but the ceiling has been caved in, and rain and mist and moisture and every other element has gotten into it, and the books are almost just paste sitting in the bookshelves.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I use mending on a book?
No, because mending only takes care of rips or cuts or tears.
Okay.
It wouldn't
Not a book door.
yeah, it wouldn't rejuvenate essentially melted atoms.
Is there any not destroyed things?
Looking around, you do see that there is a stone table with a few wooden chairs around it. It's like a stone top table.
Is it like the round table?
Yeah, we'll say that it's a round table.
Does it have enough seats for all of us?
Yeah. The chairs are a little bit, not great looking, but they might be able to hold a fairly significant amount of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask what time it is?
Yeah, right now it's roughly about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Would anyone like a light spot of lunch?
Sure.
That'd be great.
No
I
thanks.
whip out my hat, I whip out my pan. Oh, I'd rather... I now have a cooking utensil as well, so the hat works.
Nice.
I'd rather... Fire up this stove.
I just put my hands out and heat them up with burning hands or something.
I
Okay.
take the great pan of good cooking
Okay, cool.
and I lay it on your hands as you're holding it. I take out those ribs, those delicious ribs we got earlier. I put them in the pan. And I'm gonna take some of our spices that we got.
Cocaine spices?
Ooh. Party's choice. What spices do we want to go with?
I mean, salt?
We've already got salt on the ribs. Ribs are
Okay,
salt.
pepper?
We'll stick some. We got some pepper.
You're
Garlic?
the cook. You decide.
Hmm. What kind of ribs do we want?
Garlicky.
Uh,
Oh wait, I'm not
ribs?
even eating.
We do not.
No, I'm not
It's
gonna
really
eat.
unhealthy, man.
We've got some Santeen aged spices, which are apparently very
yeah.
spicy.
I mean,
Could
let's
have
just
some
put...
spicy ribs. We'll go
yeah,
with that
let's
then.
do that. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure it's not too spicy.
I'll season it healthily with some of those.
Okay, cool. And you hear the clap of an audience, and then Cooking on the Road with Tony Rock.
Hi. I mean, hi. Today we will be making some spiced rib. I'm flipping the pan. I'm shaking it, and I imagine Andrade just staring at me dull faced, yeah, okay.
No, I'm looking at the camera, just like I am in the photo.
Like The Office gym stairs.
I did
you
notice
find
one
the
eye
notes
looks a little bit different than the other, but whatever. Never mind. That's just my color blindness. The eyes are the same
Your
color. Never mind.
You're colorblind?
No, I'm not colorblind, but I have. For some reason the eyes look different colors to me, but they aren't.
Do you have the notes for my hat and pan?
I believe so.
Because I can't find them in the notes. My hat and magic saucepan.
Oh, I bet they're in general somewhere. Okay, 1 second.
Because I know you've linked them to me before, but I can't find them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send them to you in DM notes. But
Cool.
Essentially, the hat makes you talk in a funny accent,
Mm-hmm.
and the meals you cook taste extra good.
Yes.
Wasn't it
But the
also
pandas
give you,
are the
doesn't
cool
it also
things.
give you like a +2 to for your proficiency bonus with cooking rules?
With cooking utensils.
Chef.
And I think it was like -2 charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Whilst
I don't
I'm
get because
chefing.
French people are most definitely charismatic.
Yes, but I am not French.
And then I
like-
believe the pan, any meal you cook in it, gives whoever eats the food 1d4 of temporary hit points.
Fantastic.
It's either d4 or a d6. I'll have to check and get back to you.
I think it was a D4. Anyway, I'm ready to plate up this food. Because I'm like
Okay.
giving it a shake in the saucepan. I don't know what we're plating it on. We could eat it out of the saucepan.
Yeah.
We all just like grab some ribs.
Ribs are finger food.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, cool. Everybody
Fingers are rib food.
But,
I'll put the saucepan like down in the middle of the table like a little sharing bowl.
Okay, cool.
And then we eat dinner and it's 5 hours later.
It's lunch.
We eat
Isn't it?
lunch and it's 5 hours later. Takes us like 3 hours to eat lunch.
We're
And dinner
French.
is served.
Well,
Tony demands
Mom.
perfection.
Only the best for my customers.
Tony, I would eat undercooked chicken, okay? Unseasoned undercooked chicken. I don't care, man.
Good to know. Good to know.
He feeds undercooked chicken just to show how bad it is.
I just eat that, man.
And you will be getting the raw chicken surprise.
The surprise is vomit.
I'm gonna be honest. Come on, give me some raw meat.
Now you're getting these ribs.
All right. I'm
I've
just
cooked
saying.
them for everyone.
I'm just saying, if you want me to prove a point,
Only the best. Taking the hat off,
Uh,
Bunny. Only the best.
okay.
Shall I
Only
roll
the
D4?
Yes.
We get 4 health.
Nice.
Except for me,
I don't
because I
need
didn't eat.
like health, like healing, or like plus like temporary or permanent hit points.
You get 4 temporary hit points.
Neat. How long do they last, or just until they're gone?
Just until they're
Until-
gone.
Yeah,
Nice.
until they're used.
That's pretty
Um,
dope.
And yeah, as you
I have no 69 hit points. Nice.
What are you doing?
69, dude.
Ugh.
So as you all are finishing your food, you see Zylvan come out of the main kind of ritual area and approach Tony and say, whenever you have a minute, I would like to talk to you.
Oh no.
Well, I should be fine now. Let me
By the way, I'm putting the ribs in the my bone pillow.
Okay.
Christ.
How many ribs is that?
It's like a full
we'll
cage of
say-
ribs.
Yeah, we'll say there was probably enough for like 3 or 4 each.
Okay.
Did you say we got like a whole rib cage?
Just one side of it.
Yeah, just one side. That's what I thought.
Well, if the rib cage is 14 ribs, then that's 7 ribs. I think it's 14 ribs.
I mean, this is some kind of otherworldly beast, so
Oh, I thought you were talking about a human rib cage. How many does a human rib cage have?
we're not eating human ribs.
Or are you?
I'm free now though. It says I lick off my fingers.
Okay. And he kind of ushers you to follow him and walks kind of off from the rest of the group.
Alright.
Tony, go to Whispers. Adrada, you as well, but take off your headphones.
Okay, one thing is, people
Yeah,
are
go.
usually born with 12 ribs and can grow up to 24 ribs.
Many a rib.
Okay.
Okay,
Good to know.
Thank you for that useless information.
it's not useless.
Okay, cool.
Go walk away now.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, so as you walk up to Zylvan, he turns to you and says, "I can feel that your strength has grown considerably since we last talked. Remember the day I escorted you to the ship that you left on?"
Yeah. I do.
You said-
Thanks.
He says, "Oh, of course. I had to get you there safely." And he said,
Hmm.
"As you left, I knew when you came back you would be different." And
It was a hard goodbye.
he says, they always are. It never gets easy." And he says, "But upon your return, I've just been sensing a huge amount of power from you. And I can see that I was right from what I've witnessed over the past few days."
Don't know how happy that makes me.
And he says,
So, like, change it to-
I've been thinking of ways that I can help you on this path. And I think I can teach you something to aid you. So later tonight, meet me in the courtyard around 9.
Okay.
And then
Good.
maybe then you'll begin to see the potential in yourself like I do.
Thank you. I give him like a big, like, hearty, like, bear hug.
Okay. And he kind of chuckles and says, yes, old friend. You're like a
Tony's
son
getting, like, all
to me."
sentimental about it.
And then he says, "Well, if you excuse me, I have to get back and continue
It's fine.
preparations."
Thank you.
And walks back down the hallway and gives a nod to the rest of the group as he goes back in.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
and then we will go back to Jen.
Corin!
Corin!
Go back! We talking about
Hello.
Pokemon? I had
Yes.
single type weakness.
Hello.
Yes, we were talking about
Hey.
Pokemon.
And then you see Zylvan walk by all of you and give you a slight nod as he goes back into the room that he came from, and Tony kind of slowly following behind him.
So he's like
Can we go
looking
with
up,
them?
like going to sit down with the group, like, hey.
What's wrong?
What's going on?
No. He's so nice, you know.
Okay, so
He's being so
for a
nice
moment,
to me.
I thought we need to stab someone.
No, it's fine. He's just.
Oh, by the way, since we're talking about
I'm
magic
not crying.
rituals,
You're
and
not
I don't.
crying.
All right. Why? What did you say?
He's just being real nice and supportive of me. Okay.
I hope you won't. I hope you won't die during that
Sorry.
ritual.
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Thanks for the encouragement, Doug.
Okay.
Really makes me feel safe. Thanks.
But it's magic. I've seen people get thundered by you or lightning and get thrown like 50,000 feet away. Okay. I don't understand this thing. I've seen you talk to like
You flatter
25
me.
like 25 words or whatever. It's weird shit. Also, didn't you like make like a whip made out of like lightning bullshit? And you know, can you do that? Yeah, I don't understand this.
Maybe.
I don't understand this bullshit. I'm just trying to look out for you. Also, and this dude, like, what's his name? You know,
Which dude?
your god.
Oh, Bacab.
Yeah, because
Blessed be thy name.
did kinda resurrect Hatrada at some point, maybe. So, yeah, I'm kind of scared of that guy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can run away from a lot of things, but not
say the
certain
least.
death. So yeah, I don't like magic, especially because I like magic, but it's scary as fuck. Also, the names are sometimes really bullshit, but I already complained about that.
Well, thank you.
So I'm just trying to watch out for you.
Okay, thanks. Anyway, I've got like 2 more rib shoot. So he tucks back into his ribs.
Like his own ribcage or the ribs that we're eating.
He just like rolls up. He tucks into his ribs.
Oh no!
Yeah, yeah,
And then
so
we'll
finish-
say,
finish the challenge thing.
And then we'll say that the day passes by kind of without incident. The mages continue to set up for the
Bless
ritual,
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Apologies.
and night begins to fall.
Nice.
Hooray.
Insert Pokemon healing noise here.
Pokemon, what?
What be the time?
Morning.
Roughly about 8:45.
8:45.
Well, let's all go to sleep.
I got a date with Destiny.
Oh really? She pretty?
I'll
Her name is Destiny. What girl named Destiny isn't pretty?
Fair.
I'll be back to sleep in a bit. Okay.
Okay.
I'll be a moment.
Be
And I head
careful.
outside. Don't.
This
I'm
applies
not.
with-
I'm not gonna die. Don't worry.
Okay, this implies
I'll be
we're
back in a
sleeping in the
minute.
same room. And considering that we didn't find any rooms, this implies we're just sleeping at the dinner table.
Okay, cool. Tony and Corn go back to Whispers. Same setup.
Lovely.
Oh
With me going the headphone list.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey. Go away.
Okay, cool. So, as you make your way out and you go out towards the courtyard, you find Zylvan standing in the circular courtyard, and he's erected like grass-stuffed dummies of a very rudimentary nature in a circle around him. You walk up to Zylvan, and as you approach, he says, "Demonstrate to me what you've learned. Attack these dummies, use your divine powers."
Okay. If you insist, and like get ready. Like already stands in my glow out. Do I need to make some rolls for this?
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll and add like divine smite to it. Yeah, that hits.
Where's the divine smite?
Okay.
5 plus 13 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2. We are also terrifying everyone. 28.
Okay, yeah, that's more than enough. So
Nice.
as you divine smite the dummy, it just gets obliterated by what it appears to be a bolt of lightning just emanating from the sky, and it just gets incinerated. And Zylvan looks at you and says, "Just as I thought. I can feel that your divine powers have grown strong. That's good, because you'll need them in the battle that's to come." And he says,
Feels good.
"But I've learned something that I will demonstrate to you, and I believe it will be of assistance." He steps back and kind of motions for you to move back, and he casts a spell, and the staff that he's holding in his hand lights up with a golden, like, dim light, and he conjures an imp who rushes right for him, and he attacks the imp, and in one smooth, clean strike, he knocks the imp to the ground, and it begins to shine the same golden color light as the end of his staff, and falls dead.
What did I just see?
And he says, "But you saw how I did it, right? This is a very powerful divine magic. It's called Branding Smite.
Oh. I'm confused what's just happened. I don't know why my brain's like trying to process like the words you just said.
So essentially, he conjured an imp and used a technique called Branding Smite on it.
Yeah, I get that now. My brain just like slowed down for a moment there, sorry.
And he
Uh,
looks.
Tony, in his usual amazement when seeing any new magic, is like dumbstruck.
And he says, I believe that you can do it just by watching what I did.
Do it again. Tony's like eager to like watch and like writing down notes.
And he casts the spell and summons another imp. And he hits it with his staff. And this time it doesn't go down. It gets hit and it falls to the ground initially and begins to glow. And then it takes off and starts flying around them, or flying around you and him. And it's still shining the same golden color. And he finally finishes it off with a quick whack as it passes overhead. And he says, using this, you'll be able to hit anything that's a fiend or an aberration. And when you do, if it doesn't die instantly, it'll glow a golden color. And if it runs away, you can track it.
Can you teach me?
And he says, I can. And he shows you how to do it and tells you what it is that you need to do. And you learn Branding Smite. So when you level up next time, you should be able to use that.
Great, thank you. I'm like trying to be a good student like the whole time, like doing everything he's saying like to the best of my ability.
And he says, you've picked it up quickly and your powers are indeed growing. And stay on this path. And I think you would have made the right choice. I didn't want to say it in front of the others, but I believe you do have a larger role here. And it's my job to prepare you as much as possible.
Thank you. I'll give him like another bear hug.
And he hugs you back and kind of laughs as you put him back on the ground. And says, probably time to go to sleep. We'll begin the ritual tomorrow, first thing in the morning.
Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow then.
And he
Get a
says,
good
good
rest.
night. You too.
And I go to bed.
Okay, cool. Alright, we'll go back to General.
Fun!
Go ahead and roll up a new character.
What?
Yeah, hold on.
All right.
Just kidding.
Say psych right now.
I hate both of you.
Say psych right now.
Y'all are awesome.
So yeah,
Say psych right now.
Oh god, my ears.
What happens, right?
so yeah, Tony comes back in later in the night and goes to his bedroll by all of you and lays down and goes to
What
sleep.
night wasn't morning?
No, it was nighttime, and
Okay.
it had gotten late, so everyone had already gone to sleep when Tony got back.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day comes, and you wake up as soon as the sun comes up.
Sorry.
Which is essentially like 4 in the morning because like rainforest.
So the
Morning.
only thing that happened during the night was Tony got something. I'm not sure what, but he.
Look, things happen, don't worry.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Things happen, don't worry.
Please tell me.
Things happen,
Yeah,
don't worry.
please do tell me.
Tell us.
Was it cloak, dude?
Things happened, don't worry. Tony wakes up in the morning.
Did he touch you?
Morning.
Morning.
Good evening.
Morning.
Yeah, and as all of you wake up, you level up.
Yay! Also,
Another
we've
level
only been
in
recording for
Ranger.
30 minutes.
Sorry about that. We took a short break to level up. So, as the heroes wake up, they have the day ahead of them. Zylvan is walking around on the inside of the main ritual chamber, seemingly ready to begin.
Well, then let's
Tony
go
very
there.
excitedly. Reasonable.
Should we accompany you, or is that something you're...
Oh,
You're
you better
comfortable?
accompany me. You're not missing
Oh,
this.
okay.
I mean, I know Bacab is the. It's called Bacab, right? Pronounced Bacab?
Yeah.
Look up.
He is the god of magic, and I don't want to offend him by being there and not
Look,
be.
you would offend me by not being there.
Which one's
Alright.
scarier, offending Tony or offending a god?
You know what? I'm telling you what I told my mom at some point. I was like 9, so I would kill God for some things, and this is one of these things.
So yeah, as you come in, you see that the mages are lighting candles and incense and setting them up in different areas of the room. And Zylvan looks at Tony and says, "We can begin whenever you're ready." And
Let's
he
start.
and him and the other mages form a circle in the middle of the room, and they begin to utter an incantation, and you feel that the wind is starting to pick up around them, and there's a low guttural rumbling noise. A magic light then gathers in a swirling vortex and forms into a bright column, just shooting straight up into the sky, going far beyond sight. And you see that a swirling portal has formed at the bottom of it. And a voice emanates from within, and it says, "My servants, you have contacted me from the other side. What is it that troubles you?"
Everyone looks
So-
at Tony.
Zylvan steps forward and speaks up and says, "Lord Bacab, we are in trouble. There's an evil that is destroying your altars, attempting to cut off our ability to convene with you. There are many altars left, but I fear with this creature roaming free, it will only be a matter of time before we are cut off completely to you." And the voice booms, "Zylvan the Wise, do you really believe that these altars are the only way for you to convene with me? Do you not have faith in yourself that you will be able to without them? Remember times past when there were no altars. My followers could still find me." And he says, "These altars serve a different purpose. They are beacons of my magic on the material plane, yes, but they are also a lock to a very powerful and dangerous dimension." Shandar steps forward and says, "Lord Bacab, this creature that's destroying the altars, it seemed he was looking for something, or someone to be specific. Have you ever had a champion?" And Zylvan turns and looks at Shandar sharply, and he asks why he, kind of like hushes him back and pushes him away. And Bacab, silent for a second, says, "Once, long ago, I did. There was a demon lord, Fraz Urbalu, who threatened your world. He was very powerful, and he tried to manipulate time itself and take over the world as you know it. He said my power alone wasn't enough to stop him, and I had to entrust some of my power into a mortal champion. And he did the same with his, and his fate was locked into that combat. I came out victorious, and when he lost, I locked him away in a pocket dimension and sealed him away with the altars acting as tethers to bind him to that plane. But if the altars are destroyed, then nothing will tether him and he'll be free once again." Kozar looks around nervously to the group and says to Bacab, "So this is the end then, isn't it? These are the end times. Our friends here are quite capable warriors, but this other champion wiped the floor with them like they were nothing. How can we protect the altars if we can't even lay a hand on this thing? And Sylvan looks to Tony and says to Bakab, this young man here, he can be your champion. I've mentored him in all I know, guided his hand as he grew, and he is both wise and noble. And Bakab, his voice echoing, says, yes, I know this, Tony. He's asked for my assistance many times. It was me who brought him back to you, your friend Hadrada. You have strength, but do you believe you are capable of taking this on? Up until now, you've only been out for yourself.
Tony like steps up to the area where the one speaking. He says, I do believe.
He says, you're not selfish or corrupt, yet, but I sense an apprehension about you. I don't feel you fully believe in yourself or your abilities, and this demon will exploit any weakness you bear. You'll be powerless to stop it.
It's not the only demon.
Tony steps up and says, I will not bear any weakness in the face of this demon.
And he says,
I swear
hope
on your
so."
name.
He says, I surely hope so. I do not wish to have to end the life of another one of my champions as before. That broke me in ways I cannot describe. And he says, if I'm to do this, I need Tony to come with me. I must test his strength, his will, and his resolve. Only then will he know if he's the one. And the portal shimmers, and you see like a magic glow emanating from within, and you just hear Bakab's voice say, enter.
I like kind of look around for a moment, like I'm going to port, and then I enter.
You got this!
Okay.
I got.
And you enter in. 1 second. Move you. Corin, I will need you to go to Whispers and do the headphone thing again.
Okay, take off my headphones.
Yeah, this one might be a little while, so.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'll take off my headphones.
Alright.
Are you guys heading down?
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so you walk through the portal and you are transported to the realm of the god in the Outlands. Initially, it appears to you as similar looking to Vudar, sandy and dry, but the illusion fades and you realize that you're within what can only be described as the core of the earth. It's very hot. There's lava banks everywhere. It looks like you've been transported into the inside of a volcano. And you hear Bakab's voice echo throughout the room and says, you're in a place of elemental power.
Tony stands there almost like in awe of like what's happening.
And he says, you have my amulet on around your neck, do you not?
And I like take forward like the chain that I've got as the amulet I've been using as my holy symbol. And I like hold it up in the air, like proudly.
Okay, cool. So as you look around the room, you see that there is like a peninsula of obsidian stretching out that goes to the other far side of this cavern. And you see that there's a stone doorway with stairs leading up. You hear Bakab's voice say, take the amulet and harness the power of fire. And then keep making your way up. And his voice goes. And around you, you see that there is obsidian boulders mixed into the magma, and the boulders begin to shift and swirl with the magma, and it raises up out of the ground in a humanoid figure. And you are faced one-on-one with a fire elemental that rises in front of you.
Hello. Is where I'm stood fine?
That's fine, yeah.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll initiative.
This is gonna terrify everyone. Damn.
Okay. Alright, so the fire elemental rises from the molten lava and looks at you and lets out a guttural scream, almost like metal being scraped on a rocky surface, and it begins coming in towards you.
Ooh. Hello. Oh, that's an opportunity, it's in.
Yeah, go ahead.
10?
10?
Yeah.
That is a miss.
Damn.
And as it walks up to you, it reaches out and punches you. And as it does, the flame from its hand kind of catches on you. So a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. You take 1d10 fire damage at the start of each of your turns.
Ow.
And there's just like this flame kind of building up around you. That is the elemental's turn. It is your turn now.
To open the flask of water in my bag, what would that take?
I would say that's your manipulation of an object.
Nice. I'll take that flask, I'll point it solidly at the elemental, and I'll open it up.
Okay.
Hose it down with the water.
Okay, so it does have water susceptibility. So for every gallon of water splashed on it, it takes 1 cold damage.
Where is the... scroll. I create up to 10 gallons of water.
Okay, so we'll say that you get roughly a gallon
Yes.
off on him. So,
In that case, can I, like, splash some on myself to try and douse the fire?
Sure.
Like, towards the end of the spray.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do for that, but...
But yeah, so we'll say that you douse yourself and put the flames out.
Yes.
But you would have taken the 1d10 at the start of your turn, though.
Right. Do you want to roll that now?
Yeah. So that would be 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. Thank you, ribs. I still have my action, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll take the... Nope, I won't.
None of them hit.
That's a shame. I'm swinging wildly at this thing.
Yeah, it's just kind of just out of your reach. You know, it can kind of move out of the
Yeah.
way a little bit, so. Alright, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Alright, so the fire elemental is up. And it is going to punch you again. 18.
18, yep.
7 fire. And you resume taking fire damage at the top of your turn.
Okay.
And that is its turn.
I'm doing a vague amount of reading. Cool. I will do the solid. Eh?
Yes,
That's decent.
the 20 does hit.
I'll squeeze. No. But I'll take that, and I will make a. Da-da-da. If I can find it. There we go. A second level divine smite.
Okay.
There's a 6 plus 2 plus 7 plus 9 plus 1. 25 damage. With that one glyph hit.
Okay, cool.
I don't have anything else I can do.
Alright, got it. Okay. So, the fire elemental is up. It's going to kind of gather up its strength and just go in and go for a multi-attack and punch you twice.
Oh.
18 and a 7.
18 hits.
Okay.
10 fire.
So 10 fire damage.
Cool. Ow.
And that is its turn.
In that case, I'm gonna take the fantastic.
Both miss, unfortunately.
Oh wow, I am getting some terrible rolls today. You know what? I'll step back as well.
Okay. He would get a attack of opportunity.
That's fine. Smack me.
10. So miss.
Nope, that's fine. It's a miss.
Cool. Alright. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay, cool. So, let's see. Alright, so it is going to close in on you.
I'm going to get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, go ahead.
16.
That hits.
Hey. It's 9 plus 2, and I'll give it another smite. Or 8 and 8.
So 16. So 27 in total, right?
I believe so.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
Ooh. As it like comes towards me, I like duck down below it and like take a sweep out at the bottom, and like catch it where like it connects to the ground.
Okay.
And that's what like my final blow is. It like bursts up in there.
Okay. And as you do, you feel the medallion on your chest, or the amulet on your chest, begin to vibrate slightly.
I like stand up triumphantly over it and like pull my glaive by my side.
Okay. And getting close to it, you see fire red energy come out from the elemental and just get sucked into the amulet. And think of the circular amulet cut into 4 pieces, like a pizza. On one of the slices,
Like a pizza.
there is a glowing red gemstone of some type.
Tony's like jaw dropped right now. He's like, I can't believe this is happening.
And you hear Bakab say, "Well done." That was only the first, though.
I can count. I think to myself, I'm not being sassy of Bakov. What other trials do you have for me? Let's see.
And he says, "Keep following your path, and you will find out." And you notice that there is the obsidian peninsula that leads to the doorway and the staircase leading up.
I will walk up the staircase and enter the doorway.
Okay, cool. So, as you go in to the doorway, you climb up, or you continue going up the stairs, and you go for a very long time, what feels like hours to you. And you make your way up the steps, and you come to a ladder that leads up, and there's a narrow trapdoor above it.
Oh, a narrow trapdoor.
Yeah.
Can I like wedge it up a little bit and have Sam crawl through, see if you can see anything?
Sure. Yeah, so you climb up it and open it a little bit for Sam to go through, and as soon as you do, he's sucked into it.
Ooh. What can I see anything through his eyes?
You see water.
Water. Okay. I'm prepared. I'll open up the trapdoor then.
Okay, so yeah, you open the trap door and you are sucked in. And it is a cavernous looking room that looks like a portion of the ocean. Like looking up to where the ceiling of the cavern would be, it's just moving stars and moon phases, and it's just very beautiful looking up at it. And as you get sucked into that room, you notice that even though it seems like there's a ceiling on the top of the room, that you're submerged underwater and are currently not floating and walking along the bottom.
Right.
And you hear Bakab, his voice echoes throughout your ears, and it says, "Use the amulet and harness the power of water." And as he says this, the water around you begins to rapidly bubble and begins to swirl into a large humanoid outline.
I get ready and attack stance again.
Okay. And in front of you is a water elemental. So, go ahead and...
That's a 3.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Initiative, yeah. Let me roll for this guy. Oops. There we go. I'll take the first roll, I guess, though. Say 20. Okay. Yes. So descending. All right. So the water elemental forms within the water around you, and you see it coming around the side of the like sunken ruin that's on the sea bottom in front of you, and it begins to make its way towards you. And before getting to you, it will stop, and it stands there just looking at you, and that is its turn.
It's made of water. I am going to cast Chromatic Orb. Have it. Hold distance on you. 30 feet, that's perfect. I know, I've got range 9. Fine.
Yeah.
For 3d8 cold damage, to try and freeze it.
Okay. Does it make a save against that, or?
I just have to make an attack roll, I believe. That is not an attack roll. Let me just roll 1d20. Actually, let me options, spell, output attack, spell attack, ranged. Cool. Right, this should work now. There we go.
Okay,
Roll
20.
20.
hits.
Yeah,
20
then I
hits.
do 10 cold damage.
Okay.
which is terrible for chromatic off.
And if the elemental takes cold damage, it partially freezes and its speed is reduced to 20 feet until the end of its next turn.
Nice. I was not expecting that to work.
So the elemental is up, and you can see that a portion of him has been frozen, and you see him kind of trying to break out of it.
Oh, is his speed reduced by anything less than 10 feet?
Do what?
How much is their speed reduced by?
It is reduced by 20 feet, so it would only have 10.
Cool.
Got it.
It's just that my plan was that I'd use my sorcerer to freeze it because it reduces things movement by 10 feet, but it prioritizes whatever's biggest, so that's fine. I forgot this was an interaction. That's lucky.
Okay. And that is its turn. So you are up.
Okay. Can I hurl my trident at it whilst underwater? Is that fine? Because I
Yeah.
can move unimpaired underwater with my
Yeah,
sea sorcerer? Yeah.
Yep. We'll
Nice,
say that. Go ahead.
Let me make sure I'm in range. I want to be a bit closer so I don't have disadvantage. Yep. And I'm gonna throw my trident at it.
That's a
21?
hit. Yep, that's a hit.
3 damage.
3 damage. Okay.
Because
Cool,
I'm
got
unlucky roll.
Yeah.
Ooh, let me check if I can use Branding Smite on a thrown weapon. Next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack. Oh, I can, nice. I'm a Branding Smite then. With my bonus action.
Okay.
The attack deals an extra 2d6. Oh, hold on, that's not the 2d6. Is it? No, yeah, it is. Right, so it does an extra 4 damage.
Okay. So that brings it total to 7 damage.
Yep.
Cool. Got it. Alright, cool. Is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool. So yeah, you throw your trident at it, and then branding smite it, and it begins to glow a golden glowing color. So the water elemental will use its movement to move 10 feet. And that is its turn. Yeah, because it does not have good reach.
That's 5 feet, I think. I think you're measuring it front to back. Yeah, you should measure it like front to front. You can move to like here, I think.
Okay.
Now one square back. There you go.
Okay.
That's fine. That's
Alright.
actually is that? Hold on. Yeah, it's in 10 feet. I can opportunity attack him.
Yep.
17.
That hits.
7 and 2.
So 9 total.
9 damage.
Cool. Yep. And as it comes in, you hit it with your glaive, and it kind of
Ooh.
passes through it, but you can tell that it's hurting it.
Nice.
The water is forming back into the form less quickly now. Okay. So the elemental will.
It's my turn.
Oh, still?
Yeah. Well, I took an opportunity attack, which doesn't take my
Oh.
turn, does it?
Right.
So
Okay,
I now
yeah.
have a turn. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing my 2 glaives.
The 22 hits.
22 hits. That's 11 of damage. Like,
11.
jab it like right in the face. Try to like split it off.
Okay, so 11 damage. Cool. Got it. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty hurt.
My pole attack.
19 also hits.
That's 5 bludgeoning with like the end. I'm like trying to like swipe through it to try and break it up as much as possible.
Okay. And yeah, it's starting to dissipate fairly quickly and not reforming like nearly as fast. What is left of it though is going to make its way towards you,
Okay.
and it's going to do 2 slam attacks against you. It just comes in and just literally just,
That's a
punches you
26
back
and an 18.
and knocks you to the ground and just like throws his body on top of you, and it's almost like being crushed underneath a wave,
Ooh.
essentially, because that's what it is. So
23 damage.
Yeah, 23.
Ow.
And that is its turn.
In that case. Ooh. Does the pole hit?
The 15 does hit, just barely.
2 damage.
Okay, so as you send the pole through it, you make any of the form that was left disappear, and you just see it
Ooh.
turn into bubbles and just go out, into different directions into the water.
You know, like jab
and-
through it last second in the panic.
Yeah. And you notice that ahead of you, there is a stone cliff underwater, and underneath the water line going in, there is another stone doorway with stairs leading up strangely.
I'm going to lay on hands myself for my 25 health.
Okay.
And I will cast Cure Wounds. Level 1. For another 6 healing.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Sweet.
Where am I off?
You would be going to the doorway
Yes, the doorway.
underneath.
I need to like hold out my amulet, don't I, and absorb its power.
Yes.
So like I reach around my neck and like hold out my amulet to like face the where the water was.
And as you do, you can feel the amulet vibrating in your hand, and it sucks in what looks to be like a blue light energy swirled with water and sucks it into the amulet. And in one of the other sections, there's a glowing blue gem.
Ooh. Tony's like still gobsmacked about this. He's like, whoa. But he soldiers on, continues to the next trial.
Okay, and you swim through the doorway and begin ascending up the stairs, and you find yourself entering out of the water line and into a large cavern. And you hear Bakab boom his voice. He says, "Use the amulet and steal the power of the earth." And suddenly the ground begins to shake, and the boulders that are in front of you begin to morph together and reveal an earth elemental rising up from the ground in front of you.
Oh, hello, you're close. Hey, I got a decent initiative roll.
17. Okay, here, let me pull his up real quick. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry about that. Oof. Okay.
Hello.
So, descending. So, the earth elemental rises up right in front of you and takes a large step forward.
I'd like to smack him.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's a 14?
That is a miss.
Yeah.
He walks up and does a similar slam attack to you, except he grabs you by the foot and slams you into the side of the cliff face surrounding you, or the inside of the cave wall, and puts you back on the ground, and you're prone. Or actually roll a athletics to see if you fall prone or not.
18?
Okay, so yeah, he tries to lay you flat on the ground, but you kind of roll away and roll up onto your feet.
Thank God.
But he does do 11 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay.
And it is your turn.
Right. I would like to cast Enlarge Reduce on myself and enlarge myself.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I need to be made bigger as a token, as I am now large. It's like I just like throw my like stab my glaive in the floor and like hold the amulet around my neck and like grow to the size of this elemental.
Cool, and you do, and it kind of like looks at you for a second and takes like a half step back and kind of slams his two massive fists together.
I will now. Oh, I have meta magic now. Yes. Let me check what I can do.
Okay.
Obviously. Okay, I will now. What quality spells do I have? Oh, I could have quickened that, of course. I'm an idiot.
The
I
earth
wish I could
elemental
remember.
kind of begins pacing around.
I'm just like, hold on, Earth Elemental. I forgot I could do a lot of things. I'm kind of kicking myself because I could have quickened that and then done a double attack, and I didn't because I'm an idiot. I will Shield of Faith myself for 2 additional AC.
Okay, cool.
And I will step back here.
Okay, he does get a opportunity. Natural.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh. So 28 damage.
28. Okay. Okay then.
Was that your turn, or was your turn just starting?
I've just finished my turn, unfortunately. Oh wait, I have Sam. I forgot I have Sam. Sam can cast a touch range spell for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Sam's gonna Cure Wounds me.
Okay.
And he's gonna do it at level 2, in a panic. Oh, of course that's a 1. I have 10 health though. So that's nice.
Okay. Alright, so the earth elemental will burrow into the ground
Oh, that is a shame.
and disappear, and you feel like rumbling around you. And that is its turn.
Okay. That's terrifying. So it's in the ground. Ooh. Can I? I throw my trident at this wall over here. My now massive trident.
At the wall? Sure.
Yeah, just like over there. I just want to make some vague, thumpy noises over there.
Okay. So yeah, you throw your trident, and it clatters off of the rock wall and falls to the ground in a loud thud.
Now that it is the size of a small building.
And as that happens, you see like loosened soil and a trail go from like where you are over to where the noise was, and the earth elemental pops back up out of the ground. And that is its turn.
I would like to recall my trident, in my hand,
Okay, no problem.
and I would like to throw it at the earth elemental.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
That is a shame.
Yep, that's a miss.
And then I'll recall it again and throw it back at the earth elemental. It's a bit better.
18, that does hit.
Nice. That's 4, but it's gonna branding smite it. For a 7.
Okay, cool.
11
Got it.
damage.
Sorry, second. Cool. Yeah, I got it.
And I will quicken spell cure wounds for 2 sorcery points.
Okay.
For 9 health.
Nice. Cool.
Nice.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So yeah, the earth elemental will move back up towards you.
And I'm gonna hit it with an opportunity attack.
Easy. Okay. All right. Yep, that hits.
2, 2, and a smite of 5 and 5. That's 14 damage.
Ooh. How do you want to do this?
Ooh. As it's like coming up towards me, I like look at like the hole where its eye would be, and I like jam the glaive in the, and like as I like push it in, like a big crash of light comes out and it like bursts the stone into rubble.
Nice. Okay, cool. And as it falls to rubble, your amulet begins to vibrate again.
That was a steady one.
And there's like a silver light energy that comes from the pile of rubble and goes into the amulet, and on the one of the empty sections is a glowing grayish white looking jewel.
Trey still looks very proud of himself, grinning big. Even if he's a bit bad.
And you see in the cavern entrance ahead of you are the finely chiseled stone steps leading upwards in this direction over here.
Before I head on over there, I'm gonna cure wounds myself again.
Okay,
8 more healing,
nice.
and I am ring on spell slots. Okay, so I'll head up the finely chiseled stairs to what will hopefully fill in the last of my 4 segments.
Okay. I did not move the Drata on the Earth Elemental one. So. You're still enlarged, right?
I should be. Let me check enlarge reduce. How long did that combat take?
Like a minute, I would say.
Oh, I am no longer enlarged.
Okay.
I'm back
Then-
to...
Yeah, shrinking back down to your normal size, you go through the cave entrance and go up the stairs and travel for what feels like hours once again, and you come to a large red mahogany double door, and it's trimmed on the outside with gold leaves and gold fixtures and decoration.
I'll head on through the fanciful door.
Okay, and as you do, you are falling through the sky, and then suddenly stop, and your feet grow solid beneath you. Looking down, you don't see any ground or anything beneath you. It's just sky in all directions for as far as you can see. And you hear Bagab say, harness the power of the wind, and then your trial will be complete.
I will.
And among the white swirling clouds that are around you, there is a figure being formed within the clouds, and it begins to swirl faster and faster, and a wind elemental, or air elemental, appears in front of you
Yes,
from
that
the
is
swirling crowd, or from the swirling cloud.
right.
So, yeah, let me clear the initiative order.
Initiative roll. Something like that.
Oof. Okay. So, the Earth Elemental, like flying like a jet of cloud, it's faster than you can even see, swirls up to you.
And I will like smack it.
Okay.
And I'll use a one divine smite. Ooh, that's a nice one. That
Okay,
one isn't as
so-
much.
Yeah, the 21. Only the 21 hits.
There is only a 21.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did multiple attempts.
No. The rest of it's the
Six,
damage rolls.
7. So 18 damage total.
Yeah.
Cool, got it. Alright. And as it approaches you and you hit it with your glaive, it passes right through it, and the mist that forms its body kind of swirls around a little bit and gets interrupted and disturbed. As it comes up to you, it's going to do a whirlwind attack. So you must make a DC 13 strength save.
Ooh.
Nice.
I was lucky.
Okay. Okay. On a failure.
Percent.
Okay.
Stars.
Okay, so I don't think you take any damage if you
I
make your
take.
save.
If the target is the saving throw is successful, the target takes half the bludgeoning damage, and I'm not moved.
Okay. So then that would be seconds.
16.
So 8 points.
8 points of damage.
Yep.
Just roll that in the chat to spook everyone a little bit. Just to be a little bit cruel.
And that is its turn. And you
Nice.
are up.
In that case, God, swallowed some dust. It was the
Don't
wind
die.
elemental. Oh, I inhaled it. I'm gonna go with the classic double swing.
Alright.
Falling out of that. Imagine I don't hit out with anything with the 20.
Yeah, only the 20 hits.
Man can wish.
So, 6 damage.
6, and I'll throw in a smite as well. For another 11.
Okay. Cool, got it.
17 total damage.
Sweet, cool, got it. Alright, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. So the air elemental begins kind of losing its form, and you can see that maybe it's not doing so good. And it seems before it's about to dissipate, it tries to do a slam attack against you with its wind form,
Okay.
and that will be a 14, which I
It doesn't
don't think
hit.
is. Okay. So yeah, with it losing a lot of its mass, its hits just aren't taking like it wants it to, and that's its turn.
I will. Tried and true combo. And
I believe. Nope. None of them.
none of those hits. That's upsetting. Sonny just thrashes around in the wind trying to hit it.
Okay. And yeah, it seems to be not affecting it.
A bit too evasive.
Yeah, it's kind of moving back and forth out of the range of your attacks. So, the air elemental will wind up and he tries to slam at you from one side, and then you see his form kind of split up and another one from the other side, and he goes for 2 slam attacks.
Ooh. The 19 hits me.
Okay. So 16. And that is its turn.
Okay. I will. 17?
Yep, that hits.
That's 4 plus 2. I'm gonna try and end it with a level 2 Divine Smite, which I will use Elemental Mastery for 1 sorcery point to convert to lightning damage, giving it an extra 2 points of damage. Because
Okay.
of my sorcery.
Nice. So as you do, the Divine Smite is like a lightning bolt from the sky, pierces through the Earth Elemental. And how do you want to do this? Because it is done.
I like take my glaive in like one hand almost and like plunge it down into the elemental from like above and like follow the lightning bolt down into its head as it like disperses.
Nice. And the cloud just explodes, just emit explosion of mist and vapors,
Ooh.
and it is done. You see through the clouds ahead of you that some of the cloud bank begins to part, and you see that in front of you there is a landscape that looks very similar to Vudar. And there is a large bluff with a citadel off in the distance.
I take my amulet from it, I can hold it out over the elemental.
Okay. Cool. And yeah, it's almost like a vaporous cloud that comes out from where the earth elemental had been and just goes right into your amulet in the last free space. And it's almost like a clouded over pure white gem that has a faint golden glow to it.
So he looks like really proud of himself, but like properly proud.
And looking at the amulet, you now have gemstones of the same color of all 4 earth elementals that you had just defeated. And the amulet begins to kind of jingle and hum and vibrate sitting around your chest.
Set that back in my chest and I go towards the vision I saw in front of me.
Okay, so you begin making your way to the landmass, and you're still essentially just walking across the air, your feet still solid underneath you. And you come to the edge of the land and get onto it, and you see that the citadel itself isn't as far away from you from where you are now as it seemed initially. And you begin making your way closer to it, and you enter in through the doorway, and you are greeted by a cozy looking room with none other than Bakab standing in the middle of the room awaiting your arrival.
I enter the doorway looking like dumbfounded, like I can't believe this is happening. Like pure shock.
And Bakab looks at you fondly as if looking upon an old friend, and approaches and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, Tony, my champion, the one who will restore the balance.
I look at him like, you just touched me, oh my god. You're Bakov.
And he says, I am, and you have been a faithful servant of mine. I wouldn't trust anyone else to be my champion except you. And he says, you know what the stakes are. If the Demon Lord escapes, everything will be at an end. He says, what you do not know is he's already chosen his own champion. You've met him before, the hooded figure who destroyed my altar in Play Ixula.
Yes,
He says,
had some dealings with him.
and he says, well, it's none other than his own son. That's who he's tasked with breaking him out. He's the powerful demon Sokanth.
I remember the name.
And he says, I'm sure soon he'll reveal himself to you once again. But that's why you're here now. I'm helping you by unlocking a hidden strength within you. You'll have the power befitting a champion of mine. However, I can only do this for so long. Your coming battle will drain almost all of it.
I understand.
And he walks up to you and places his hand on your head, and there's a warm golden glow emanating from the end of it. You gain all of your divine magic attacks do an additional die of damage.
Oh.
For a certain duration. There's no time limit on it, but it's kind of more like the DM's discretion sort of
Yeah.
thing.
It's like milestone.
And then he removes his hand from your head, and you see him kind of touch the amulet around your neck and says, and as a bonus, by harnessing the powers of the elements, you'll have limited elemental attacks. But use them wisely, as you'll only have one shot with each of them.
Okay,
And
I will.
once you gain the whirlwind attack from the earth elemental, the fire touch attack from the fire elemental, a hydro grapple attack from the water elemental, and the slam attack from the earth elemental. And I'll send all of them to you in Discord.
And those are like one-time use.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The essentially the power will be stored within your amulet until you decide to use one of them or all of them. Essentially, when you use them, you'll take on properties of that certain earth elemental while you do the attacks.
Okay.
So there's also like a flavoring to it as well. And then after session, I'll explain how all of that works.
Alright.
And Bakab looks at you, and he says, I also grant you this as well, and gives you a vision. Your vision goes black and then white, and you see outside of the temple from where you came, where you had left your friends, you see a portal open and the hooded figure come out and just lay fireball and hurl fire at everyone in the vicinity and just lay waste to everyone. And he says, this is not what has happened. It's not even what will happen. All of it depends on your choices.
Okay.
And he says, but the time is now. You have what you need. Go, find Sokanth and destroy him. Stop the Demon Lord Fraz Urbalu from being released. Save your world and the magic in it. If he's
I will.
released, he will no doubt come for me first, and I'll hold him off as long as I can. But I have come to accept the fact I'm by myself. I'm no match for him. And
I know it must be done.
And he says, "I have faith in you." And he raises his staff and knocks the bottom of it on the stone floor, and you are transported back to the ruins in the jungle.
Okay. Before we move,
Yeah.
Have I now changed character stat?
Yes, you have.
Second, was that vision like? Can you like read that to me? Cause my brain died.
Yeah. So the vision is where you walked into the portal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not time specific, but you're not there among the people. But a portal opens up, and the hooded figure, Sokanth, comes out from it and begins laying waste to all of your friends.
Right. That's bad.
But yeah, so you are transported back to the jungle.
I'm looking for my stat block. I sent it like a while ago.
Okay. Can I move us back to the?
You can.
Okay. Cool. I'll do that.
Is it implied that that vision was in the future and not immediately after I walked through this portal?
It was implied that the vision is nondescript,
Okay.
and it could either happen outright, or if the right choices are made, it won't happen at all. Okay, back to General.
Cannot.
Wait, let me do it. Oh, okay.
Alright.
Damn it. I want to say.
Motherfucker!
So, the column of light that reaches high up into the sky with the portal at the bottom of it, as soon as Tony walks into it, you see him come back out, now with
Huh?
4 glowing gemstones on his amulet of Bakab.
Are you okay?
Tony, what the
As
fuck?
I come back out, Tony's like rushed and panicked and says, "Right, everyone, get into the back room. Go.
What happened?
Just
what-
go.
Okay. Oh, okay, I go.
Did you? I'll go too.
Everyone. I like clear everyone out of the room.
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Okay. And you find Zylvan and Taktarog and Kozar and Shandar out in the other room, seemingly to be resting at the moment, waiting for your return.
We all get out of the room. There's no one in the room.
And as soon as you come out, they say, "But you just left."
It
We
didn't
thought-
happen. We're fine. We're fine. Okay.
And they
What
say,
didn't happen? What?
"What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Speak clearly."
Right. I met the cob.
Okay.
Okay.
I had to do 4 trials.
And you
I got
succeeded.
this amulet. Yeah. Narrowly. I
need
met the
help?
cob. He said that
With
I
anything?
was
Like
now his
wounds?
champion. I got a vision of this point right here, that portal, and the hooded figure coming and blowing everyone up.
Right now.
Well, it's not right now because he's not here now, but you know, it scared me. It could have been new, but hopefully, given the track we're on, we can avoid that.
Well, once the bitch comes to fight you, I'm not gonna leave you and let you do this alone. You're obviously gonna have my support. You think I'm gonna go and let you do this alone?
Thank you.
I was tired the last time I shot arrows at this bitch. This time I won't miss, okay? This bitch will fucking die the moment, like, when I see this guy, it's on sight.
Alright then. But I feel new, I feel invigorated.
I mean, the amulet looks kind of cool.
It does. It's got elemental souls in it.
Ooh.
Or
What?
something to that effect.
What souls? Those exist?
Dark
Essence?
What are elementals?
Look, it's hard to explain. Right, where are my tutors?
They are currently not far away from you. They're
Ah,
listening to the conversation going on at the moment.
Then I turn around to them. And I like give them like a big open arms like hug to all four of them at once.
Okay. And they say, "What happened?
Like
You
pick
said
them
that
all up
you-
and like, oh,
You said that you met Bacab?"
I did. He touched me. He put his hand on my shoulder.
Aww.
And they-
It's okay.
What happened?
He said that there's. It's all so overwhelming. Oh. He said that there's a great evil, and that we're fighting, and that the
look at
champion, the
Rara.
hooded figure, is their son,
Huh?
and it's so much to take in.
And they say, "It sounds like it. Once you've gathered your thoughts, you'll have to fill us in. As
Yeah.
far as being here, though, do we need to stay?"
I don't think so. I think if we stay, that could be dangerous.
And they
I've,
say,
I've had a vision of the hooded figure coming here and blowing everything up. Paul,
say-
you guys, everything.
and Sylvan says, "Well, then we should make haste and be back to play Ixula."
Yes.
And they begin extinguishing their candles and packing up everything that they had unpacked and begin gathering it up and look at all of you and say, "Well, we can load up and then head out before the sun goes down if you wish."
Sounds fine.
Oh, Christ.
And they begin loading up, and that's where we'll call it for this week.
I still
Damn.
don't know what elementals are. Durga doesn't know. Durga knows murder, not magic.
They're like monsters pertaining to an element. So like imagine a dude, but he's made of fire and he hurts people.
So a teacher?
And they're also like huge.